Great Sunday morning to you. Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. This weather video driven by 802cars.com. They represent 802 Toyota, Twin Cities Subaru, and 802 Honda. They're all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. We're looking at the main storm track and our clear lane here, which continues, and this will continue, it looks like, right into Tuesday evening before the next weather system moves in. That'll happen on Wednesday, could bring us some scattered showers and thunderstorms. But the main track here is where the clouds are, and if we add lightning, you can see the thunderstorm activity with lightning and tops in some of the bigger storms here, and you can see that this track and most unstable air is to the south. It's a little bit also polluted air here. We have a nice clear slot of fairly decent weather, and this is only going to continue, as I said, through Tuesday evening. So for this VELCO weather hazards outlook, I'm expecting little to no impacts for utilities. The possibility will be on Wednesday where thunderstorm activity will move through, it looks like, during the afternoon and evening hours. That'll be the only concern. Otherwise, we're looking at this very nice dry stretch that'll continue into Tuesday and then probably reemerge as it's looking right now after some scattered showers, kind of post-frontal showers. On Thursday, no thunderstorms, but high pressure then builds in again for Friday, and this could last into the early part of next week. So we're looking at potentially another dry weekend. And this is also producing well below normal rainfall, and with our only shot of maybe a third of an inch, a quarter of an inch along about Wednesday afternoon and evening, if that. And not all the models are on board on this. Mainly the European is advertising. My hunch is that these other models will come around, and that'll be our situation for the utilities. However, we're looking at generally dry stretches, and again, we continue to suppress the thunderstorm activity off to the south of us. In this particular lane here, you can see dew point temperatures right now, and just how cool, how low those dew point temperatures are. Looking at regular ambient air temperatures. Fairly nice weather across northern New England. This is only going to continue. This is brought along by a very large gyre up in the Davis Straits region, northern Quebec, off Labrador coast, and it's only going to continue this for several days to come. Looking at the 6-hourly stretches on the European, showing rainfall and pressure patterns as well as freezing levels, or colder temperatures at 850 hectopascals, the 0-degree isotherm there. You can see the cold weather is across the eastern parts of Canada. That's not going to affect us. It just kind of is the weather pattern right now with the cold anomalous temperatures across the northeastern portion of North America. And again, it's suppressing a lot of our weather. And we have one situation here on Wednesday. This is the setup for Tuesday evening, Tuesday night. And then we get into Wednesday here. We start to see a little bit of a return flow, and just enough to bring us some moisture here. It looks like standard deviations of only about 1 to 2 for moisture, but that will definitely increase the humidity. It'll give us a little bit of a warm and humid kind of day with temperatures basically in the 80 to 85 degree range in Vermont on Wednesday. That's sufficient to pop thunderstorms with instability. It looks like capes will be relatively low, but something pushing on through, and the wind fields look to be barely strong enough to produce maybe 1 or 2 isolated strong cells, but that's a long ways out. And all of that occurring Wednesday afternoon and evening. Then we have a couple of following frontal systems you can see on Thursday, and then another area of higher pressure will build in. This is at 1022 hectopascal over Hudson Bay. That begins to push into the region, and we're looking at another stretch of dry weather through this coming weekend. Just kind of checking that. This is 7 days out. You can see it's just about centered right overhead, and then eventually we'll start to see the next frontal system push in here somewhere along about Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So these stretches are quite amazing. If anything, it's going to give us anomalous dry periods here, and we're starting to set up for a dry period. We're not yet into drought, but probably by the end of next week, the next couple of weeks, if this weather pattern continues, it looks like we're starting to see drought conditions in some parts of northern New England. And with dry weather typically comes large diurnal ranges in temperature, and indeed we actually had a little bit of frost in a couple spots here. Temperatures as cold as 30 around Berlin, New Hampshire, up in the Littleton, Whitefield, New Hampshire region, and so forth in parts of Maine. But these have been basically isolated and confined to those locations. A quick look here. This is our little more humid conditions across a wide area of the southern and eastern United States, but not here in northern New England. The Great Lakes are looking good, courtesy of this area of higher pressure. This is sulfur dioxide measured meter cubed, and we're looking at fairly decent air quality. This looks a little worse than normal, and a lot of the more hazy, nasty air is to the south of that sort of frontal boundary, along where those showers and thunderstorms will continue into the middle Atlantic, kind of coming in from the north and west. Quick look at the EF Knapp Airport temperatures, and you can see our warmest was on the 1st of June, and since then we've kind of cooled off, and we're gradually getting back, but right now we're running about a departure of about 3 degrees below normal. GFS Ensemble agrees very much with the European, and what we're looking at here is our next event, and this is going to be the 13th. This is 0Z on the 14th, and so we're talking Wednesday late in the day, Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday evening, and followed up by a couple small post-cold frontal showers, and then another dry stretch, although it's not indicated here. It looks like this is looking pretty good, again with the same weather pattern. So you don't see this very often in June, and we're getting a good hay cut right now, and a lot of opportunity out there for farmers in need of cutting hay, tedding hay, and then picking that up before Wednesday. But look at how dry. In the temperature category, this is centered on Burlington, Vermont, the GFS Ensemble. Once again, you can see temperatures. Here's your 70-degree line. Up close to 80, it looks like, on the afternoon of the 13th. That's this Wednesday, and that's when we would have some thunderstorm activity. By proxy, you can typically see that the minimum temperatures are starting to come up, and a little bit of a deviation here. So after that, not as accurate, but still we're looking at some pretty fine weather. And way down around the corner here, notice this. Maybe near 90. This is along about the 17th or 18th of June, and the longer range of the European model has been kind of indicating this, so we might see a couple warmer days as we get past the 15th of the month. But we're not there yet. We have near normal temperatures occurring, a little colder to the north, a little warmer to the south. What about 3 days later? That was the 5-day temperature anomaly. This is added on 3 days, so 3 to 7 days out from the Weather Prediction Center. And this would be good through next Wednesday, the 13th of June. You can see we're starting to warm up just a little bit. On this Sunday, the climate reanalyzer information considered to baseline 1979 through 2000. Temperature anomalies across the planet. You can see cool out west. In fact, it snowed this morning in parts of Idaho along the Bitterroot. I saw as much as 4 to 5 inches in some locations. And then a cold anomaly in eastern Canada. We were showing that earlier. It looks like the Arctic's starting to warm up a little bit more with anomalous warmth up in some parts of Siberia there. Same kind of thing south of South America in the Antarctica region. But overall, world about a ½ degree above normal. Northern hemisphere the same. Southern hemisphere is up to only 0.4 of a degree, but that's increased. The Arctic is 1.1 degrees. Arctic amplification starting to occur again. And the Antarctic is cold. The tropics, about 0.4 of a degree above normal. Typically, this has been running about 2 or 3/10, and that's a little more unusual, and this could be something to watch down around the corner. Looking at the tropics and any kind of Atlantic hurricane basin activity, right now there's nothing the next 5 days. Some models, mainly the GFS model, tries to spin something up into the Caribbean and move it into the Gulf of Mexico somewhere along about this coming weekend. And a full disk view of looking at planet Earth. We have a lot of dust coming off the Sahara. This is going to definitely suppress any kind of tropical cyclone activity, so the area to watch is the Caribbean and into the Gulf of Mexico next weekend. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.